When you strip your bare metal down to bare metal, when you take a car and you remove all the paint from that vehicle, you should prep it after you're all done, and of course you wash it all off. You should prep that metal thoroughly to make sure that it's back to the impurities that it was before you used whatever chemical or system that you stripped the metal with. Now what we got here is we got a hood that belongs to a 1967 Camaro, and you can see this is the inside of that hood. Now the only way to strip this properly and remove everything that needs to be removed to completely restore it, let me get this out of the way, and to do it properly without warping or ruining the sheet metal, because you can see there's 2 layers of sheet metal there, is to have that soda blasted. And what the problem is when you have metal soda blasted is that it leaves a very, very thin, what can I say, a micro thin layer of the soda still on the metal, even after you wash it off from the high pressure spraying of the soda. It almost actually acts like it penetrates into the top layer of the metal. Believe me or not, metal actually has pores, and if you put it under a microscope, you'll see all the pores in the metal. And what we need to do is we need to get all that soda off of this metal, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use this product right here. Now what this is vinegar. But this isn't just regular vinegar. This vinegar here you have to purchase over at your big box hardware stores such as Lowe's or Home Depot. And this one here actually is very, very strong. It's 7 times more potent than the vinegar that you buy in the store. Now it does cost more money, but this stuff really, really works good. And it's called 20% Vinegar Weed Slayer. You find this in the weed and garden supply weed control area of your big box hardware store. And what we'll do is we took this right here and we went ahead and mixed it with water. Now on this one here I mixed it 2 to 1, this being 1, that being 2, and then we mixed it together with our water. You can see that down in there. Now before we go any further, I want to go ahead and just get a little close-up. All this right here that you're looking at, this is soda. You can see I just took it up, but look what happens even when you remove it. Look at the little specks that it leaves in there. That is soda that has penetrated into the metal. Washing it off with a hose will not remove the soda. Here's some right here, and you can see how it left some residue. I washed this off when we got it back, and you can still see there's still residue on the metal everywhere that we look. You can see here's a spot right here, but when I rub it off, look what happens. You can see that it's still embedded in the metal.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and put some rubber gloves on. Now, if it's late at night and you're doing this and you're going to go in and take a shower, you can pass this section of the video up. You don't have to put rubber gloves on, but if you're going to be working for the rest of the day, you definitely want to wear rubber gloves because it's going to make your hands smell and stink. And more than likely, anybody that you go around is going to bitch and complain because you smell like vinegar. So as we get to that point, let's continue with our rubber gloves. Now, if you remember correctly, I mixed my chemical inside this 5-gallon bucket, and what I got here, I got a paint mixing cup and I got a throwaway brush. And the way that I'm going to apply this to the inside is I'm going to go ahead and stir up my vinegar water to make sure it's completely stirred up. Then we'll set this back down here, and then I'm going to take my paint cup, and then I'm just going to vigorously pour it, because to get inside this hood properly, you really got to hit it hard. And we want to make sure that we get every square inch with our vinegar water on our hood, especially on the inside where we know there's going to be a lot of heat from the engine. And then once we've done that, I'm going to take my throwaway brush and I'm going to just move my brush around just like you're looking at right here. And at the same time, if you have some minor surface rust, okay, we got Minnie the body shop girl in the background. She's mowing the lawn, so I'm going to have to talk a little bit louder because we can't disrupt her mowing the lawn. And what I was trying to say here is that by using the vinegar water on our item like we're doing now is not just removing the soda that's left over, but it's also killing the surface rust that might be on our piece. So I'm going to continue to use my throwaway brush, and this is to get inside everywhere and also put the vinegar on top of that surface rust that we're talking about, especially right in here. And we'll go ahead and get our latch while we're at it. But once again, this is how you remove the soda from the piece of metal that you just had soda blasted. Once you applied the vinegar water using your throwaway brush, you're going to want to take a piece of coarse steel wool, just like you're looking at here. And then now what we're going to do, we're going to come in and we're going to basically scrub down our metal, especially wherever there's any surface rust. One thing you do want to be careful about when you're cleaning off your metal is the sharp edges. So we're going to go ahead and get some of that back over in that side of it. We're going to go ahead and let this dry, and then when we come back in approximately 20 or 30 minutes, we're going to rinse it off, and then this metal will be clean, and we'll go ahead and flip our hood over and repeat our process. Alright, it's been approximately 25-30 minutes, and what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and rinse this off. And all we're doing is using regular faucet hose water, nothing special. And you can see, once I rinse this off, you can see how clean the metal has gotten on the before and after picture. Hang on one second, let me go ahead and get this done. And I always do the inside first, and the reason I do that, get that hose up here, is because when I'm doing the top of the hood, it has time to dry out and get all that muck out of there. Soda free. Alright, it's soda free. We took all the chemicals out by doing this. I'm going to go ahead and lay the hood down on the front or the top. And then while that's drying, we'll get the top done. And we're going to go ahead and repeat our process. I'm going to get my bucket up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour it on it. Just like you're watching. And then once we did that, we'll go ahead and brush it on just like we did on the back side. And we have a few other problems on this, and I want to go over them with you real quick. Let me finish doing this hood and get all that soda off, because it doesn't really take long on this. If you watch real close by using the steel wool, it removes that surface rust really, really nice and gets down in the pores where you need it. But there's a few other little problems we have on this hood, and I want to show those to you as soon as I get this done. We're going to go ahead and turn this hood around because I want to show you something here that's really important when you're doing this. So if you look at the hood in this area right here, you're going to see that it's got some very, very serious rust problems. And that's due that this hood was wrecked at one time or crushed in, and they fixed it and they didn't seal it properly. And you can see where it's all crow's foot and check cracked here, where it went actually down to the metal. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove this rust, and I'm going to show you the best way to do it. And the product that we're going to use for that is called Muriatic Acid. You would purchase this at the same place that you purchased the vinegar, and it might be in the same department, but it's somewhere in that store that you purchased that vinegar. Very dangerous. Be very careful, and you definitely want to wear gloves with this, and if you're not working outside, make sure you have a good mask on. We're going to go ahead and open that up. Now remember, I haven't taken the vinegar off yet. I want to get all this at one time. And you want to be very, very careful with your muriatic acid, and do not breathe these fumes in. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So I'm going to take my brush that I was using for the vinegar, and all I'm going to do is brush it on the rusted area. I'm going to put that muriatic acid right on that rust. I noticed there's a few other little spots on it. I'm going to go ahead and get those while I'm at it. But my main concern is right here in this area. And we'll be doing this several times. We're going to let it dry. We'll put some more on there. We had some rust problems right here. Along this edge right here, there was some rust. Had a few little situations going on over here on this side. Nothing major, just surface rust. It looked like something dripped on it or spilled on it. That hood's been sitting up against the wall for almost 2 years, just to let you know. So it's actually in pretty good shape for being in bare metal for 2 years. Alright, so I've been applying my muriatic acid to my messed up area, and what I'm doing now, I'm taking an old grinding disc and I'm going to go ahead and grind some of that off. You can also see, just by looking at it, it's almost removed a lot of that rust. Let's go ahead and take this, we'll get some more off, then we'll put some more muriatic acid on it. So we're going to go ahead and take our muriatic acid, and we'll go ahead and put it on here again and let it sit. And just let it do its job. But you can see, by using the muriatic acid, it has really removed 90% of the rust. So you can see that, and now you can see that it's actually changing, and the muriatic acid is really eating it and taking it away. Now when you're doing this to your very, very rusted out areas, you want to go ahead and get a cheap, inexpensive wire brush, and I did use that off camera, and what I did is I went ahead and I was just rubbing it in, helping that muriatic acid get into the pores of the metal to fight that rust and eat it away. And right now all I'm trying to do is get this in epoxy primer so I can ship the car. Once I do the body work, I'll go over and do this again, and I'll repeat my process as many times as it takes to get the surface rust off of the vehicle. But to get that real heavy duty rust off, you see what I had to do, and look at that. It's like day and night. You can't even tell. It looks almost just like the rest of the hood. Now, if I wanted to use the muriatic acid and I just relied on vinegar water and my grinder, it would have been about a third of what you're looking at here. Let's go ahead and rinse this hood off and see what the whole thing looks like when we're done. So we went ahead and used our muriatic acid for the heavy surface rust, and we used our vinegar water for the soda. It's a time-consuming job, but let me tell you something. This job that you're watching me do right here, if you do not prep this properly, you will screw your whole car up. And that's a fact. So, alright, what we've done is we went ahead and removed 95% of all the surface rust off of our hood, or should I say bare metal. We went ahead and took all the soda or whatever chemical we used when we did this, that's gone. And now it is time to say we have cleaned our metal thoroughly, and we can now have the security that when we prep this up and we go through the stages of painting it, it's going to be a nice, high quality, 100% accurate paint job that we're going to be proud to say, I did it myself. And then, once you let everything dry, and you come back and D.I.Y sand it using 180 grit, this is what your metal should look like. If Minnie could bring the camera over here, I want to show them. This was completely rusted and rotted, and look how clean that is. The rust and the rot is completely gone. There's no more rust and rot. We've taken care of the problem using our muriatic acid and our vinegar water over the whole thing. And it's now time to go ahead and do what, Minnie?
Put some
epoxy primer on it.
primer on there.
Okay. We're done. That's the situation we have. I'm going to put one more coat of epoxy primer on it. And we are now completely done prepping our metal and sealing it for future restoration. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. If Minnie wants to get over here and look at that, you can walk around that real quick. We got a lot of exhaust fumes in here. Be quick about it. And that is basically everything you need to know about prepping your bare metal after it's been soda blasted, or possibly you might have stripped it with aircraft stripper or something of the sort. It is now done. It's ready to go to the next stage, and that is a lot of answers that I just gave you that I get a lot of questions about. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. Take it easy, and I hope you're watching and learning while I am making my mistakes and you're learning from them.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.